Okay, Pro Tools has two different windows. The first one is the edit window for editing, and the second one is the mix window for mixing. We can move from one another pressing Ctrl equal. In the edit tool we have different clips here, and from here we can modify their name, change the color, change the track 8, so now it's medium, we can put large, for example. And we can leave a comment. We can play track as a solo, so we mute all the other tracks, or we can mute just this track. Here we can choose the input if we want to record, or the output, and then change also the volume. In this part we have the rulers. So an important ruler is the time. Now it is in seconds, so we can see also the grid here, it's in seconds. And another important part is the markers. So we can have different markers, choose their name, to underline a specific point. Here we have a smaller view of all the tracks, so we can see them all together. And from here we can also hide a track, make inactive, or delete. Here instead it's the toolbar. We have different tools. Here it's the trim tool, so we can trim, and it's non-destructive tools. We can go back without deleting the clip. This one is the select tool, so we can select just a part. If we zoom, we can see that now we can select just inside the grid. To change this we have to switch here, and now we are able to select also outside the grid. And this instead it's the grab tool, so we can grab an entire clip, move it, or move also in different place. This tool is particular, so if we zoom in again, we can see if we play, when we stop, the cursor came back at the starting point. And this is useful because we can play again and again the same part of the clip. If we select this tool instead, when we press stop, the cursor is in the place we have stopped, so it can start from there. Here we can find the time, so if we move around or if we play, we can see the time. And here it's for recording. For the mix window, we have always the tracks, so we can recognize them with the title or with different color. And we can modify the volume and also the direction of the audio. And we can see also the difference between a stereo track and a mono track. Okay, going back to editing, we can use the smart tool, clicking here, that is these three tools together. So depending on where we place the cursor, we will have the select tool, the grab tool, or the trim tool. To cut part of the clip, we can select the part we want to cut and then press Ctrl E, and then we will have another clip to move around. With the smart tool we can also create a fade in or a fade out, so we can place the cursor here and we will see this square, and we can create the fade in and here the fade out. That will mute the beginning or the end of the track. Instead, if we place the cursor here, we can have a cross fading. Here now it's not really useful because the track is continuous, but if the track is not, it will help to smooth the sound. Okay, then we can also modify the volume. Now we are visualizing the waveform, but we can visualize also the volume from here. And we can cut it and modify. So for example, we can place the volume like this. So this is also another way in which we can create a fade-in, or also if we have a part of the clip that is too loud or too low, we can modify it. Then we can use different plugins. To see the plugin, I will add a new clip. So we can press track new. We can choose when we start a new track if it is mono or stereo. In this case I will choose stereo. And also we can choose different types of tracks, but right now I'm working just with audio track and not MIDI or master. And we can create it. Okay, I will reduce this audio just in solo so we can hear just this track. And I will insert a new clip. So when we save Protools, we don't save also the clip enclosed in the file. So we have an entire folder in which we have all the clips. And it is important to be sure to have all the clips in the folder. Okay. Once we have this clip here, it is a speech. And it is quite noisy.
Professional services company and provides strategy, consulting, technology and operations services. James Hallam is MD of...
Okay, so we can, with a plugin, modify the frequencies of the noise to delete them. And we can do this with an equalizer. So we click here, we add a plugin, EQ, that is equalizer, and we can see first this one. So EQ allows you to manipulate specific frequencies so that you can focus on the better frequencies and remove the unpleasant one. We have different bands, as we can see, and here we have the low frequencies, medium frequencies and high frequencies. And for every band we can control the frequencies here. The Q, that is how wide an area around that point we are going to manipulate. And then there is the gain, so to raise or lower the AQ. And actually we can see here the curve of the EQ and the various frequencies, and here the gain. I will close this plugin, make it active, and add a easier plugin, this one. So since the noise frequencies are quite low, we want just to delete these noise frequencies. From here we can also choose the type of curve we want, and we want a high pass. So right now we are just going to delete the low frequencies with a curve that is quite smooth. You can see we can have also a curve that are just deleting some specific frequencies, but we want to eliminate all the lower frequencies here. And more or less we can listen to the track again.
For professional professional services company and provides strategy, consulting, technology and operations services. James Hallam is MD of the Fuels.
And now it is better to compare the track. We can click compare, so we can listen again to the track.
Professional services company and provides strategy, consulting, tech.
As before. From here, we can also select different effects that are already done. So, for example, for vocal, we can also see a hair, and they are quite useful at the start because you can see different examples and how you can modify the frequencies. So, for example, to add hair, you just gain the higher frequencies with a curve that is quite smooth. For example, to add persons as well. To cut sibilance, you just have a peak in particular frequencies. We can then use a lot of other plugins that are there for different effects and different use. I will show you just another plugin that is the reverber, and I think it's quite nice. So it will add reverber.
Professional services company and provides strategy, consulting,
and you can modify the room you want to be. And also here you can modify the voice from dry to wet. So
professional services company and provides strategy, consulting, technology and operations services. James Hallam.
And also here you have library with some presets that can show different room or places. That's all, and thanks for watching.